Rakan is an okay champion. He does not have a high ban rate, guys. Okay, but you know what makes it even worse, okay? Like, what makes the whole experience even worse is hexflash, okay? I have to start complaining about it. Maybe they'll do something, because if you guys remember, like, 2 months ago, I was really complaining about Glacial Augment being extremely overtuned, right? And, well, Glacial Augment got nerfed, and now it's actually not that annoying anymore. It got nerfed, like, by 20% or whatever it was, so... Glacial Augment is totally fine to play against now. It's way more balanced. So maybe I have to start complaining about hexflash. Hexflash is like game breaking, in my opinion. It's extremely game breaking. The problem with hexflash is that it's only a high elo rune, because low elo players will never use hexflash to the same extent ever. So you play against Rakan, you play against Alistar, you play against Rel, and what they do is they go to the Raptor side of their map, right? Whether they're blue or red side, and then they're hex flashing over that wall 24/7. And basically, that wall is way harder to play around, because first of all, it's way harder to ward that area, because you want to ward ramps usually. And then, yeah, they're just hex flashing. And the problem is, like, so if Rakan would have to W over the wall and then E and then ult, that would mean he would only use one offensive ability to CC you, which would be the ult. But because of hex flash, he basically cheats the whole pattern, and then he can hex flash and then E into W or whatever, or E ult into W. And it's just so game breaking. And it's not just a Rakan thing. The same thing happened with Ral. Ral would just hex flash over and then either W, E, or Q you. Alice is gonna hex flash over you and then go behind you and fucking knock you somewhere. It's really, really OP. Thank you, Zuki, for the resub. One more game before screams. I don't know. Hexflash is just really OP. I don't know what else to say. It's just extremely overtuned. So the problem with Hexflash is that, like, it has no cooldown, right? Because as support, you play Lucidity Boots and you play Cosmic Insight in most cases, so you're using your flash off cooldown perma, because that's the whole purpose of your role. Hexflash is then constantly on, right? And it has no cooldown. Even when you're in combat, the cooldown only goes to like 10 seconds, which is just way too little. For those that watched my live view of G2 versus Fnatic the other day, there was a moment where Yike was fighting with Rel jungle in combat, walks out of combat, hex flashes behind the tower of Fnatic's botlane and kills them. And that's the only reason why Fnatic botlane died, is because Yike had fixed hex flash. If that wouldn't happen, Fnatic botlane would leave. It was a game breaking, it was a game changing death, and it set Fnatic so far behind. J Mills, thanks for Twitch Prime. I don't know, it's just so stupid. I could rant about it all day. Like, first of all, Hexa should, like, if Hexa wants them to be in the game, there needs to be like some downside to using this rune. Like, I know people are gonna say, but Nemesis, the downside is that you the downside is that you have a rune, right? That it takes a slot in the rune slot, but like, there's no downside, right? Because you look at the inspiration tree, you don't want boots because you want to rush boots on every champion. Like, Hexflash is just perfect. Like, the cooldown of Hexflash is 20 seconds and only 10 seconds when you enter combat, okay? First of all, here's my opinion. Hexflash cooldown should be 30-second minimum, if not 40, 45. Second of all, the combat cooldown should be 20 minimum, if not even more. Third of all, I think they should make the channel of Hexflash 2.5, not 2. And then the room might be balanced. Like, I don't know. It's just so overtuned. It doesn't cost you anything. It's literally 4 free flash over a wall. Like, what? It's stupid. Make Hexflash not go over wall? Yeah, I mean, it would kill the rune completely, but yeah. I don't mind that. If Hexflash wouldn't go over wall, it would kill the rune completely. It would have no usage anymore. I would just hope it got removed and replaced. Like, just bring another rune. Like, I think Hexflash is just so toxic. It's the same for Stopwatch. The Stopwatch rune should also be removed, you know?